So what we're going to do in this video is go through a day in the life of my 370 pound obesity. At the time of me recording this video, I am down to 357 pound, but my goal is nowhere near over. My target is, I believe, is around 250. I'm currently 162 kg, was between 168, 170, and I want to be around 110 to maybe an upper end of 115. But I want to talk about before my diet, because I've covered my life at 370 pounds. I spoke about my health problems and things like that, but I didn't go through what I actually did on a day-to-day basis. And I'm going to tell you now, this is going to be incredibly boring to listen to, but you are going to, like, if you watch it all the way through, you are going to get an understanding of what I was like before I decided to completely change my lifestyle, improve my health, and crack on with the weight loss. And I'm going to say it started becoming more and more common for me to stay at home and play video games as I started reaching the end of my teen years. I'm currently 31 years old. And then when I reached 20, I started content creation on YouTube. And video gaming, I'm going to say, played probably the biggest part in me gaining so much weight over the years, because I was barely moving around. I was eating so much junk food, filling myself up, and it just got worse and worse as the years went on. And I did it for a little over a decade. So typically what would happen in a normal day would be I would get up, and it wouldn't matter if it was 7 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, or 10 o'clock at night. My sleep was all over the place. It was awful. And I mean, to be fair, it's not actually that much better now. I mean, it's just a little bit more under control than what it used to be. But I would wake up, I'd go to the toilet, I'd do all that typical, like, first thing in the morning stuff. And then I would turn on the PC and I would sit there and I would do some work bits. And if I got hungry, I would go and get myself, say, 4 packets of crisp, which was around 600 calories as like a snack. Or I would go and chuck a few sausage rolls in the microwave and put loads of ketchup and brown sauce and stuff all over the plate. I would sit down and I would try and come up with video ideas for, like, my main channel, my gaming channel. And then I would sit there and probably watch a few different videos on YouTube, and then I would load up some games, and I would sit there and play games, and I would play games and play games and play games all day long. And I did this for such a long time. And I have a missus. I have kids. I've got family outside of, like, my household family. And I kind of semi-abandoned them, if you want to call it that. I was spending so much time sitting at my desk, playing video games, recording videos from it. And it's kind of a 50-50 thing when it comes to the regret. I don't regret it because it's how I brought in an income for a very, very long time. Like, I still bring in an income from it now, but it was such a focus because it's my only source of income. But I did let that work/family sort of life balance, it was so skewed, where I probably should have had it at least 70-80% family, like 20-30% work. I had it probably 90% work, 10% family. But I'd sit there playing games all day long, and I was that bad. I think for the last, say, I'm going to say 3 or 4 years, I would probably leave my home, and this is going to sound really, really bad, I'd probably leave my home no more than a maximum of 6 times per year. It got that bad. I stayed indoors all the time. I was so lazy. My feet were swelling really bad. I'd sat in a gaming chair between 12 and 18 hours a day. I would literally wake up, do the basic day-to-day things in the morning. I would grab the crisps. I would sit down, do all that stuff. If I got hungry and wanted another snack, I would go and grab a whole pack of biscuits, say a whole pack of Hobnobs, a whole pack of chocolate digestives. It got so fucking bad. Like, 100% honesty here, it got really, really bad. And I started the diet, this one, because I've done a few in the past, lost 1 or 2 stone successfully. So, like, say 14 to 28 pound or whatever, 15 to 30, let's not be 100% precise. But they all ended up being unsuccessful. I gave them all up at some point. But then then with this one, I had health concerns, scares, fears, whatever you want to call it. And not just that, this time feels different. I've got some sort of like extra motivation behind me. And I don't like, obviously the fears and stuff come into it as motivation, but it feels different. I don't know what it is, but it does. And then after all my snacks, I say snacks, after the multiple packs of crisps, because I'd even sometimes, if I was still feeling hungry, even though it probably wasn't real hunger, if I felt hungry, I'd go top up with more crisps. Or I'd go grab another couple of sausage rolls. I'd drink so many energy drinks and so many cans of Coca-Cola. And then it got to dinner time. My dinner orders were ridiculous. If I was getting a 10-inch pizza from a takeaway pizza place, I wouldn't get one, I'd get two. But I'd also get a large cheesy chips with it as well. And I did speak about this in a recent video where I spoke about not having to give up everything to lose weight. My Chinese takeaway order, curry with egg fried rice, beef curry, egg fried rice, smoked shredded chicken, salt and pepper chips, a whole bag of chicken balls, sweet and sour chicken balls, a whole tub of chicken chow mein. A McDonald's order was a large Big Mac meal with a milkshake. I would then on top of that get like a double cheeseburger, a wrap, and an apple pie sometimes. And that'd be my dinner. I'd obviously have cooked meals as well. My cooked meals have always been really big meals. But that is pretty much all I would ever do. I'd wake up, and from the moment the PC went on, I would take a break from the PC, say once an hour-ish, and I would take a break for 5 to 10 minutes, then I'd be back. And besides taking those breaks, because I'm a smoker, so they were basically cigarette breaks. Besides those breaks, the only thing I would get up off my arse to do was go to the toilet. I mean, to be fair, it never got as bad as getting the missus to bring the food in all the time. I would actually get up and go and get my dinner and stuff. But it's just the amount of shit I was eating, the amount of laziness. I barely ever went out. I would be at my desk, and I'm gonna just refer to it as 24/7. It was so unhealthy. And that's how I got to the state of being 370 pounds. But that's another reason I am so glad to have started documenting it on a YouTube channel, because I love making content. I've done it for over a decade. But I'm so glad I've started documenting it, because if I start slipping, I start eating more calories and stuff, I know for a fact people are going to jump in the comments like, you're not actually trying this, you're a failure. And I'm hoping it never gets to that point. But if it did, that would give me that sort of drive to push and do better. But I'm going to try my hardest to stay on top of it. And being nearly 6 weeks in, I think I'm doing an okay job at the moment. I've not had any sort of doubts. I've not had any binge eating. I don't do cheat meals. I don't do cheat days. If I start getting bored of the food or anything, I'll just switch it up. And I know that I apologize for talking a lot about things outside of the day in the life. But if I was to just say, right, I woke up in the morning, did this, turned the PC on, worked all day, had a massive dinner, had what I called snacks, which was a ridiculous amount of junk food, then we would have been here for a 30 to 45 second video. And I want depth in the videos. I want people to have a full understanding of how bad my life actually was before I started the diet. And I mean, I haven't changed anything in terms of playing video games. I still play them. It's just instead of sitting there and doing 8 to 10 hours in a day, I will now sit there and, I mean, the last 2 times I've played Skull and Bones, I've done videos for those on the main channel. The last 2 times I've done videos for those, I've played Skull and Bones for about an hour at a time. And literally after that hour, I'm off of it. I'm doing the editing, getting the videos sorted, doing the videos for this channel. And after maybe say 3 hours worth of actually working, and then possibly an hour or two's worth of watching videos and things like that, just enjoying myself, that little bit of entertainment. Outside of that, maybe I'm going to say no more than 6 hours a day now. And that's at a push. Most times it's 3 to 4 hours. Sometimes it may go up to 5 or 6, depending how much stuff I can find to watch. Outside of that, I'm going out almost every single day. I'm spending a lot more time with my family. I've even had my oldest son question. He came into we call it the front room. A lot of people will say the living room or the lounge or whatever you want to call it. But he came into the front room and he goes, "Dad, why are you sitting in the front room?" And I'm like, "Just came in here to sit down, mate." And he goes, yeah, but Dad, you never sit in the front room. And to hear that from your 9-year-old son, it's crazy. Like, all that time I spent doing what I was doing, I didn't realize what was going on outside of basically my computer. But that was the very sad day in the life of being 370 pounds. And I am so glad from all aspects of it that I got up off my arse and started to make a change. And what we're going to do is wrap the video up there. I want you guys to let me know in the comments, is there anything you've struggled with in terms of maybe a work/family life balance? Do you struggle with playing video games far too long every day? Let me know all of that stuff in the comments, but also at the same time, let me know if you was struggling with a balance, you managed to pull yourself out of it, how you did it, and it'll be cool to hear like some of your stories and stuff, to see like the different benefits and stuff you felt if you didn't feel like it was a benefit. But on that note, we are going to leave that video there. I will see you guys in the next one.